All right, Jorge, let's see. Are you ready to go? Your mic's off, so I'll let you go.
Hey, Lattanzio, how are you?
Very well, thank you. You?
Good, good.
Good.
Speaking in terms of LAFC, I mean, you guys are going into a very tough game, a team that's only, I believe, lost twice at home. How do you prepare for this game, given the fact that, you know, you just came off of a loss and are kind of needing some points away as well?
Yeah. Listen, our focus is ourselves, and we need to improve as a team in different part of the game, in different phases. So we want to stabilize the work that we started to do, and that at times we put in place against Chicago. I think we had at least 15 chances against Chicago. And so the boys, they developed the attacking side of the game really well. We were not as solid as we could have been or should have been, but this is, I know it's, and it doesn't sound as an excuse, but it's still, we are still fine-tuning certain parts of our game that we need to improve. But I think that the boys are improving. We maybe with a bit of more luck, a bit more attention, we would have got the points against Chicago. It wasn't the case, and now we have this game against LA, and we have to go there, and our focus is mainly to see us improving as a team and to play a strong game. Then after we know the quality of this team, LAFC is one of the best teams in the league, without a doubt, in terms of players, in terms of organization. So, but we want to compete. We want to make everybody proud, our fans proud of our performance.
Nice. And then an update on Guzman Corujo. I know it didn't look good on last week. Is he out for the season? What's the update?
It looks like that he's going to be out for the remainder of the season, unfortunately. But we are on his side. We want to support him as much as we can in many different ways. He still is an important part of our team, even though he will be more occupied with his recovery, and we will be there for him on that side. But also, for me, he's an important player, an important person before that, to help us to develop our team, and I will want him to be very close to us, to help us to look at the defensive side of the game, even though he will not be able to take part, because he has been part of that, a big part of that, and I want him to be next to us in the video meeting we will have with the team, like all the injured players do, and so that we'll keep building on ourselves.
And then Vinny Mello as well. Do you have any update on him?
I think Vinny will be reviewed his full, because he works, we keep monitoring him on a daily basis. He's doing his rehab and recovery on a daily basis. And I've been told that in a couple of weeks, he will be reevaluated to see where we are and if we can start to see him in training in some capacity, at least on the pitch, to do some jogging and to start to get him ready again. But we will have to wait still a few days.
And then finally, I know Brian Romero right now is in MLS next All-Star game. Was there any message that you going into this game or heading up to Minnesota?
Well, for Brian?
Yes.
You have to enjoy the moment, make the most of it, make yourself proud, your family proud, your club proud of the way you conduct yourself and in the way that you listen to the indication you have been told, and play following your talent. It's a long road ahead of Brian, and you know, there is no shortcuts in this game, in life in general, but in this game you need to work and you need to build yourself on a daily basis, and the same applies to him.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Steve.
Hi, Christian. Looking back on the game this past weekend and such. I mean, all goals in soccer or in football are precious. So you don't want to you want to score whenever you can, but scoring that early in a match, philosophically, now that you've had a chance to look back at it, do you feel that it changed the dynamic of the game in a way that allowed Chicago to do what they did? I mean, they took their chances well, and bravo to them for that. But
Yeah.
you know, sometimes just in the psychology of it, when you go ahead that early and stuff, do you feel that it changed things, or did your team over those next 20 minutes, 25 minutes still perform the way that you had designed before the match?
Steve, an early goal can always change consciously or unconsciously your performance. But if you ask me, I'd rather start 1-0 up than 0-0. So, so that for me, we shouldn't use it as, an excuse to, I mean, if they tell you, you're going to score after 30 seconds, are you going to take it or not? I think I would take it every time. And so even if that's the case, we need to improve in that, because we can't now turn against ourselves a goal that actually is something that we actually tried as well. It's part of the work we have been doing, impressing. And so then after, everything became perfect in that play. But, so after that, yes, there were some element of the game that we are still improving. And we have a young midfield with Ben, with Quinn, with Jordi Alcivar. Very talented boys. I'm so happy that we have them. So happy to have those guys. And also Brandt, I mean, he's playing every game, but it wasn't the case in the past. So to a certain degree, also Brandt is relatively really quite young as a player in terms of experience, even though more experienced than the other ones. And certain mistakes that we make, I think, could have been prevented. But we analyzed again the goals that we conceded. And on one hand, we have to say well done to them. They play really well, the chances that they had. On the other hand, I think they could have been prevented by us playing a little bit stronger in certain moments. And, we are we are correcting that, we are training on that. And hopefully we will be stronger from that point of view.
Did you feel though that those moments, did that happen because they were then in the mindset of protecting a lead, or was it just football?
No, that can happen. That can happen, Steve. To be fair, I agree with you. Sometimes you go and you have this feeling of protection, and that is counterproductive, because like in life, when you want to protect what you have, you stop searching, you stop developing yourself. So even if that's the case, we have to move on. We have to move away from that, and and we need to go for the second. We need to go and play like if it's 0-0. It's different if it's a final and it's 5 minutes to go and you are under a lot of pressure. Maybe you can change the tactics, but scoring so early at home, I think we need to get into this mentality to look for the second, the third, and I think we did. It's just that we didn't play strong certain transitions. We lost the ball too easily in midfield, especially the way we want to play. We want to create a lot and to be open with our players, and we can't afford to lose simple balls in midfield, because you invite transitions, and if we do, then we have to retrieve differently, we have to recover the ball differently, better. And I thought that this transition moment cost us a lot, cost too much, and I felt for the boys, because I was really proud of their performance, because this is a team that goes out on the pitch and try to create. And we had so many chances in the first half, so many, even after the 2-2, which is more or less the last minute of the first half. We have another penetration on the left with Jordi Reina that unfortunately cannot connect well. And then we had a shot over the bar with Mackenzie. So even that, we keep going and pushing. And then in the second half, we have many. In the transition, they were really good. Good play from Shaqiri and Pirzibilko. They are good players, and you have to be able to defend those transition moments better.
Yeah, have you seen it in training this week? I mean, are they pissed off? Do they want to correct the injustice of Saturday?
They were focused and they trained really hard. Obviously, they are not happy, but it's my responsibility and the staff to analyze what happened and to give them a plan to improve those moments. We can't just be pissed off and say we're going to do better. We have to analyze exactly what happened and to have a plan in training and to improve.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, Sam.
Thanks, Will. Thanks, Coach. So, Coach, back in June, you told when we were speaking, you told me that you considered Guzman a talisman. What does the loss of Corujo for the season mean for the team?
Yeah, Guzman is a leader, of one of the leader of this team, and he's a natural born defender. You don't find so many. He's a guy that really enjoys defending. And so he's very keen in learning different ways of doing things, tactically as well. And I believe that Guzman is going to be a big loss for us, and that's why we want to minimize that by keeping him involved with us in organizing certain things, in analyzing certain things, because he's a guy that can be very important not only on the pitch but also off the pitch. But of course, on the pitch, his loss is important for us. He's going to be felt, and we have to. But sometimes in life, when you are in difficulties, other people step up, and the other people get opportunities, and it's up to them to maximize those opportunities that they might not have had if Guzman was still playing. So we have to look at the silver line on the positive side of this negative event that happened to us, and more importantly to him, to Guzman.
Absolutely. So my other question is a bit meta. One of the weird quirks of MLS compared to other top tier, top flight leagues is that the first tiebreaker is number of wins and not goal differential. Right now, Charlotte's number of wins is very high compared to the rest of the teams in the middle of the Eastern Conference table. I believe only 3 or 4 teams have more wins than Charlotte. Going down the line, where does the difference between winning and picking up a draw factor into your strategy going forward?
No, this is a good point, Sam. Really good point, because in the end, we want to cultivate our dream, even though we know and we are realistic and humble, as I said a number of occasions, but also we need to be ambitious at the same time and take every game and to try to do our best in every game. So this also as a consideration. It's true that we haven't drawn many games. We have either lost or won, and we want to. As you can see, we are a team that goes to score goals. We don't. We obviously, if we are in a position that we can be in difficulties, we want to get a point rather than not to get a point. So this is also a consideration, because before the tiebreaker, there is a number of points. So, and to have 1 or 2 points more in the end can allow the tiebreaker to get into the. So I think we have to look at the game by game. We cannot make too many calculations at this stage, I think.
Great. And final question, who are you looking at, or is there anybody you're looking at pulling up, especially with Makoun leaving, to fill the gap left by Carew?
Well, we have as a central defender, we have Jan Sobocinski, that is, or Christian Fuchs, or Anton. And so we are looking at different options at the moment. Plus, we have Adil Malanda that is showing in training that is a really good acquisition. He's young, so he needs time like everybody else, especially coming from a different football, but he's already showing that he can help us. So we just are waiting for the visa for him to be ready, but he's training with us. He's training with us, Nathan Byrne and Nuno Santos, but Adil also is a guy that can come and help us straight away, I think.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll do two more. Let's go Alex, and then we'll end with Carol.
Hi, Christian. What is I know you said it was his knee on Saturday. What is the official injury of Guzman Corujo?
I think it's an ACL. So he will have to, they're finalizing the date, or maybe they finalize it because we just came back from training for his operation, and then we have to, they will start to put in place a protocol for his rehabilitation.
Is it to the right knee?
Yeah.
Okay. And you talked about how he's so important to the team, to the morale of the team. How are you going to reorganize your defense with his absence?
I mean, our principle of play stay the same. It's not that change. What will change is the characteristics of the player, and with Guzman has got certain characteristics. Our central defenders have different ones. The one that they will have to step up in his position. And so we need to adapt. This is football, and in football, this can happen. In every sport, you have injuries, and opportunities will come for other players, and we need to first and foremost support the player that got the injury, not just because he's such an important player and person for us, but whoever it is, even if he was a young player, of course. But this is the most important thing, to be behind them, and at the same time, be ready to step up. This is the life of a professional sportsman.
And do you expect any of the three people that you brought in on deadline day to debut in this road trip?
This is out of our hands, because
Okay.
it's a bureaucratic process to go through the visa. Two of them could be ready. I mean, Adilson, he already plays one game for Rodez in France, so he's much fit. It would be just a tactical choice. Nathan Byrne is he hasn't been training in preseason, but he's pretty fit, and he has been already training with us few games. Nuno is a little bit more behind, but he took part in training, and he's improving on a daily basis. So as soon as the visa arrive, I think all three will be in a position at least to be considered. Adilson and Nathan more so at the moment.
Okay, great, thanks.
You're welcome.
We'll end with Carol.
Sorry, Alex did such a great job. My questions are answered. Thanks.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you guys in LA.
Thank you.